Chicago White Sox step up to the plate to bid farewell to a fan who just loved the team his whole life, all 112 years of it.
Well over a century. That's amazing. The body of C.P. Crawford has been sitting in the morgue in South Holland for more than a month due to a lack of funds needed to bury him. Well, until now, CBS 2's V. Wynn has a story you'll see only on 2.
C.P. Crawford's life began in Jackson, Mississippi in 1907. At just 4 years old, he started working in the fields picking cotton. Then at 13, he got his first job. It's a story he has told Sheila Huff many times before.
He said his first job was working washing dishes at a cafe. And then he went on to tell me about he went on to work at the railroad and then that's what brought him to Chicago.
Huff works as the activity director at Tri-State Nursing and Rehabilitation Center in Lansing, Illinois.
I would see him every day, and you stop by and, hey, CP, how you doing? And he would say, oh, I'm just doing fairly well.
Crawford spent the last 5 years of his life living at the center alone. He was married 3 times and had 6 foster children, but none of his own.
We were his family. Everyone there loved CP.
And she did her best every year, throwing him a party to celebrate his birthday. This past one in August was special with help from his friend Andrew Holmes.
He loved the limousine rides.
Crawford was in for a surprise. The limo sent to pick him up that summer day would take him to Guaranteed Rate Field for his 112th birthday.
When we pulled up in front of White Sox Park, Guaranteed Rate Field, he looked. You see a little water just about to come out of his eyes.
The diehard White Sox fan lived for more than a century, but has never been to a game. So the organization rolled out the red carpet for him, from walking out onto the field to meeting Hall of Famer Harold Baines to appearing on the Jumbotron. Crawford was a star. Crawford would take his last breath in November. But nearly a month later, still no funeral for Crawford. For a man who has seen and lived through so much, including segregation, Holmes says this isn't right, that the money isn't there. So we made calls and sent emails to Crawford's favorite team. The organization knew they had to do something to help their oldest fan and agreed to cover the remainder of the costs, giving Crawford the proper burial he deserves.
Way to go, White Sox. V tells us Andrew Holmes raised part of the funeral costs before the White Sox stepped in. Funeral arrangements are in the process of being finalized and will most likely take place this Saturday at Gatling's Chapel in South Holland. What a heartwarming story.
Love it. I love that this morning. All right.